Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of Android application development tutorial with Android Studio. In this episode we are going to learn about how to use a checkbox in your Android application. So if you use checkboxes, you can select multiple items at a time. So here I am going to create an Android application that will demonstrate how to place a checkbox in your application and how to handle the click events of the checkbox. So start a new project in Android Studio. So first we have to create the GUI for the application. So here I am going to create the GUI for the application. First here I am going to add a text view. Width is wrap content. Height also wrap content. Specify a text Android. Refer it from the string.xml file. Title message. Now we have to add this one into the strings.xml file. Open up the values folder and open the strings.xml and add a new string resource. The resource name is title message. And I provide a title as select fruits. Okay. Now we have a text view in the layout. Now I am going to change this one into large text. So Android text appearance into use this text appearance large. Also I want to align the text view at the middle of the layout. So Android layout gravity, I change it into center horizontal. Okay, now we have a text view at the center at the top of the layout. Now here I am going to add some checkboxes. So here I am going to add the first checkbox. Width is wrap content, height also wrap content. Provide an ID for the checkbox and using ID attribute plus ID fruit apple. Okay, now we have to provide a text for the checkbox. So Android text, refer it from the string resource string apple. Okay, so now we have to add this string resource into the strings.xml file. Name is apple and the value is apple. Add another orange and the value is orange. Add one more grapes and the value is grapes. Okay, now we need another checkbox. Change the ID into fruit orange and the title is orange. Okay, now add one more checkbox with ID fruit grapes and the title is grapes. Okay, now look at the design. Now we have three checkboxes: apple, orange and grapes. Now user can select all these fruits using the checkbox. User can select multiple items using a checkbox. So now I am going to add some on-click method for these checkboxes. So Android using the attribute on-click, select item. Use the same on-click method for all these checkboxes. Okay. Now I have to add a button. So now here I am going to add a button. The width is 100 dp. Height is wrap content. Now we have to provide a text. So Android text refer from the string resource. Name it as done. Now we have to add that one into the string resource file. So add a new string resource and name it as done. Now provide a value for it. Done. Okay. Also here I am going to align this button at the center. So Android use the attribute layout gravity, center horizontal. Okay, now look at the design. Now we have a button at the center of the layout. Okay, now for display the result, final result, here I am going to add a text to view. Width is wrap content, height also wrap content. Also provide an ID for this text to view, Android ID plus ID. Final result. Okay. Also provide a message for it, Android text, hello world. Okay, now we complete all the GUI part. We have 3 checkboxes, we have a button, and we have a text view to display the result. Okay, now we have to code this application. So we have 3 checkboxes here and a button. One more thing, we have to add an on-click method for the button. So Android on-click final selection. Okay, now we have to declare, now we have to define these 2 methods on the main activity.java file. First one is the checkbox on-click methods, select item. So go to main activity.java and here I am going to declare that method, public void select item. We need a view argument here. Okay, now we need another method for the button, final selection. So copy this one and define that method, public void final selection. Also we need a view argument here. Okay, now whenever user select these fruits, we have to save the selection, and after completing the selection user click the done button. So we have to display the selection using this text view. So for that, first I have to declare an array list for save the selection. So here I am going to declare an array list. It is handling string. I name it as selection equal to new array list. It handles string. Okay, so whenever user select the checkbox, whenever user select an item from the using the checkbox, this method will invoke. this method will invoke whenever user select an item using the checkbox. So we have to add each item into the array list. So first we have to create a boolean variable. Boolean, I name the variable as check. Now here the view item is a checkbox, so checkbox, and here the argument is view dot is checked. So if the user select the checkbox, we got the boolean as true. If he again uncheck the checkbox, then we got the boolean as false. Okay. So now we have to find out which checkbox is actually selected by the user. For that, here I am going to use a switch case statement. So we have to get the ID from the view argument using the getID method. Now we have to analyze this ID using each case statement. If the ID is equal to r.id.fruit apple, yeah, this is wrong. Okay, now it's correct. So now if the selected item is apple, we have to add apple fruit into the array list. So selection dot add apple. And one more thing, if the user check the checkbox, we have to add apple into the array list, and if the user uncheck the checkbox, we have to remove the fruit from the array list. So here I use an if loop. If it is checked, then we have to add apple into the array list. Otherwise, we have to remove apple from the array list. Selection dot remove apple. Okay, finally we have to add a break statement. Don't forget to add a break. Also we have to check the same thing for other two fruits. Now here it is fruit orange. So we have to add the fruit orange into array list. If user remove that particular fruit from the selection, we have to remove that item from the array list. Okay, one more thing, we have to add the last fruit grapes. Add one more case, if the fruit is grapes, we have to add that fruit into the array list, grapes. If user remove it, we have to remove that from the array list, grapes. Okay, so when user select the checkbox, this method will invoke and we save the selection into the array list. And after finishing the selection, user click the done button. So when user click the done button, we have to display the result into this text view. So the ID of the text view is final result. So we have to define an object for the text view. So text view final text, I name it as final text. Now we have to initialize the text view. So final text equal to find view by ID r dot id dot final result, this one. Okay, now cast this one into text view. Yeah. Now after finishing the selection, user click the done button, then this method will invoke. So here we have to get the result, we have to get the selections from the array list. So for getting the selections, here I am going to declare another string variable, string final fruit selection, and initialize it with some null values, some blank values. Okay, now we have to get the result, we have to get all the result from the array list. So here I use an for each loop for string selections, and here our array list name is selection. Okay, and we have to get the result into this string variable final fruit selection equal to final fruit selection plus selections, and after each result we have to put a new line. So add a slash n. Okay, so at the beginning of the application, so whenever user start the application, we have to hide the result text view. So we have to hide that one. So final text dot set enabled make it into false. So we can hide that one. So when user click the done button, we have to display the result using the text view. Yeah, here. So now we have to display the result. The text view object name is final text. So final text dot set text, and the variable name is final fruit selection. Okay, now we have to enable this text view. So final text dot set enabled into true. Okay, now we complete all the coding. Now we can run the application. So one more, I explain the code one more. So whenever user click the selection, whenever user select any one of these fruit, this method will invoke select item, this method will invoke, and we save the selection into the array list. So if user select the checkbox, then we add that particular fruit name into the array list. So if user again uncheck the checkbox, we have to remove that particular fruit from the array list. So that's why here we use an if else. So after finishing the selection, user click the done button. So whenever user press the done button, this method will invoke. So here we just get the result from the array list and we display the result using the text view. Okay, now we can run the application. Okay, now we have the application available on the virtual device. So here we have three options: apple, orange and grapes. So here I made two selections, apple and grape, orange, and click the done button. Now here we got the result, apple and orange. Now I made another selection and click done button. Now we have all the result, apple, orange and grapes. Now I remove the orange, so I click done. Now we have the result, apple and grapes only. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode.